My name is Amarnath. So I'm basically a civil engineer by profession. Regarding liver donor as such, that was totally a new situation for us in our family. I was a match for my son, so that helped us a lot rather than in search of any person. So I was very happy in that way. Initially, yes, when they had said that that my son has to undergo a liver transplant, that was more difficult for us to take in. This one was OTC, that is ornithine transcarbamylase disorder. So he had an issue where he used to have elevated hyperammonia. He used to get hospitalized in a very short duration. Every month we used to be in a hospital, go into ER and get his ammonia sorted out. The first major challenge was the mindset as such. Yeah, my son needs to undergo a liver transplant. So that what I had to do, what I was doing is like I used to speak to many people. Like I used to tell my issues to many people, get their feedbacks as such. And there were many people who motivated me as well, and not to just stick into one mindset of not going to a transplant. The other stuff was financial stuff. That was a huge burden. So it was a big amount what we need to accumulate for this particular surgery. So there as well, there were my friends who helped me out, and there were my family who helped me out. My wife helped me out in that way. So all this was a challenge which we had to. We had to fine tune everything in 2-3 months time. So get all this sorted out financially. So that was one challenge. Challenge for him was immense. Like initially, one is the health challenge. He used to be vomiting every time, like every 15 days he used to be on couple of days vomiting continuously, and that was a challenge. And he used to not eat food properly. There was no growth. That was a medical challenge what he had. And apart from that, once we had diagnosed that he had urea cycle disorder, there were situations like we used to not give him high protein food. Basically, he used to be on rice based diet, carb diets. So those were the challenge. One thing, food. Apart from that, infections. So any infections would elevate his ammonia level. So we had to protect him in such a way that he used to not meet people, meet friends. He used to be isolated at home. We used to try to keep him isolated as much as possible. Whenever we used to meet anyone, wear masks, sanitize his hands and all that stuff. So that freedom was totally taken off from my son. So we felt very bad at that situation. So then afterwards, as usual, his school was very disturbed totally. For 2 years, we didn't have any schoolings at all for him. His immediate recovery was around 3 to 4 months at least. Like for us to breathe in, okay, he is able to eat something fine. Like it was around 3 to 4 months. Like after that, he was okay. He was normal. He used to eat normal food and all that stuff. And now he is okay totally. But we still cross our fingers and say that he is still a transplanted patient, and we need to take care of him throughout his life. So that's one thing we keep in mind, because he's on medication for his entire life. But it doesn't stop him to do anything apart from keeping him little bit secured from infections. Apart from that, he is totally free in eating anything, basically from junk to normal homemade food. So you need to find the right doctors who can guide you properly, who doesn't confuse you too much, who guides you properly. That is the main thing. And the second thing is we need to be bold enough to face any situation. You need to go forward and think, what's next? We need to see his next 50 years or 100 years of his life. So that's the motivation what everyone needs to take. And you need to be open-hearted, and so they shouldn't be demotivated in any way. Okay, or they shouldn't be scared of themselves. Okay, what happens to myself once I donate something to my close-up relatives or something. So we should just take out the negatives and think about the positives, so which will show you the way. What I feel is the risk you take, the more returns you get. So I took the risk, and I'm happy by God's grace that my son is fine.